Hey, World Entertainment. Hope you all had a good weekend. And the box office roundup. Basically, we're going to talk about Transformers 1, which, yes, came out this week, and has actually underperformed. In fact, it couldn't top Beetlejuice. Nope, came in second. That's right, the kid-friendly movie came in second to a sequel to a 30-plus-year-old film. But, now, the number it's come in at, it's not terrible, but it's not great. But when you hear the budget, which isn't terrible, but it's when you add on the marketing and stuff, is where you go, this could be a massive problem for Paramount. But we'll have a look at an article here that talks about it, and I can show you the number. Well, actually, I'll tell you the number now and show you that of time of recording anyway. Now, this might go up sometime during today. It may go up or may even go down a bit, but it looks like it's the rounded off number, but they always tend to go up a bit. But at time of this recording, it's sitting at worldwide 39 million. That's it. Not 39.1 or anything, just 39 million. Now, why is that below or quite bad? Well, again, it's not terrible, but it's not great. It's the fact that it only brought in 25 million domestically. And I think they thought that number was going to be between 30 and 40 million. And it came in at 25. And it only did 14 million internationally. It's usually the international number that tends to go up or down a bit. So we'll see what happens with that. But here's this bit of the article anyway that talks about this. So it says Transformers 1 has come in below expectations, allowing Beetlejuice to hold on to the top spot at the domestic box office for the third week in a row. Analysts predicted 30 to 40 million debut for Paramount's animated prequel, which only ended up taking 25 million from 3,978 venues. The movie, which had a reported budget of 75 million, also made 14 million internationally for a global total of 39 million. Now there's the part with the budget that doesn't sound too bad when you think, well, it's come in at 39 million, the budget's only 75, but they probably spent the 100 million on marketing, which takes then total up to 175, which means this thing has to break well past 300 million to break even. And if it's opening at such a low number like that, especially like in its separate markets like international and domestic, like domestic only hitting 25 and then international only hitting 14 million, you know, that doesn't bode well for what this movie could do. It's saying Tim Burton's long-awaited sequel added 26 million from 4,172 theatres, bringing its domestic total to 225 million and 329.7 million worldwide. It has now, by the way, broken over the 100 million mark internationally. So it's saying Transformers 1 received positive reviews, 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, not that anyone cares about Rotten Tomatoes, and strong audience scores. So the belief is that ticket sales could rebound over the next few weeks. It's saying this is a lukewarm opening for an animation adaptation in a live action series. That's a weird statement actually, because it's not a live action series. It was always an animated series to start with. So that came from David A. Gross of movie consulting firm Franchise Entertainment Research. And he continues saying industry expectations are high for a big series like this, but an animation adaptation is not going to hold all or even most its live action audience. He said it's too big a shift. But again, that's a weird statement to make when it's like it's for kids basically, this version. But again, Transformers started off as a cartoon. Like obviously it was comics, but it was a cartoon from a toy line. So why he's saying failed because you're catering, like he's literally saying that you're catering to the live action audience to see an animated. No, you're adapting it for kids. The problem is, they didn't wait while the kids were off school, like the summer. No, they wait until all the kids went back to school and then put this thing out. Not to mention that we've just had a Transformers movie. Was it last year or the year before? I think it was last year that Rise of the Beasts came out. And I just think when you saw the trailers for this, it looked terrible. Now, audiences seem to be saying it's actually fairly decent, but at the same time, the audience who grew up with Transformers don't like how it looks, you know, even though they are seeing it. Well, for the few that have seen it and said it's actually pretty decent, you're trying to convince them kids as well to go and see it, and they will get confused because, number one, they could actually look at those designs and say that's not what the Transformers look like, but more so, you're going to confuse the kids by having them sit there and not have Optimus Prime be Optimus Prime yet. He's not going to be called Optimus Prime, and the same with Megatron. So they're going to be hearing these different names and they'll get confused. But clearly, that first trailer did do damage to what this movie could have done. Where it was, people looked at it and went, that does not look good. It looks too childish. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that you're trying to convince people that were going to see the Michael Bay movies to go and see it. I really don't think that plays into it. But again, it's not a terrible opening, but at the same time, it's not great. And to say he thinks these numbers will bounce back, I don't know. I don't think word of mouth works all that well to convince people to see an animated movie, especially one that's so kid friendly. But we'll wait and see what happens, but I doubt it's going to bounce back. And even if it does, it still will have a hell of a long way to go just to break even. And I don't think it's going to do that. But we'll see what happens. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.